Thank you all for joining us on this special night. I want to particularly thank Bill Ford and Will who are here. It's a really family atmosphere for all of us. The invitation you received is your golden ticket. It's kind of like Willy Wonka. Normally, we've done an event like this for the media first. We've broken with tradition tonight because we want to do it for you before the media. We're giving you the first look because each of you has the opportunity to acquire what you're going to see tonight. So your golden ticket is actually an opportunity to be the first to buy the vehicle. It's unprecedented. We've never done anything like this before. But again, I would like to recognize the person that makes it all possible, all of this possible, Bill Ford, who's with us tonight. Bill. For all of us in the company, his leadership makes nights like tonight all possible. Thank you so much, Bill, for everything you do. We invited all of you to this debut because you're part of the Ford family. Okay, this is different than a lot of other elite clubs. We're family here at Ford, and we share the same passion, as Colin said, for racing, for technology, a passion for going fast, really, really fast. Nearly 60 years ago, Mustang brought performance and self-expression and a sense of freedom to the many. And now Mustang is the best-selling sports coupe in the globe, not 911. Woo! Now, for a lot of people on a Mustang, they're dreaming about taking the car down or up the coast of California or to the Keys on some epic adventure, top down. The sound of a V8, which most of our competitors have left that market. And we're now on the 7th generation of Mustang. There's a lot of first dates, a lot of first keys, and a lot of first road trips in this car. And along the way, we have won a lot of trophies. Because at Ford, racing is in our DNA. We were founded on racing. And we really, really, really like to win. Yeah. Even before the first birthday of Mustang took the Tour de France. It's a really grueling race. We then raced with the SCCA, took championships. Peter and many other people were part of that experience. We've raced in Australian supercars, touring championship, NHRA, NASCAR, all right out the gate, the Mustang was racing. And we've never really stopped racing. But racing now, we have a much bigger ambition for racing Mustang. Racing demands efficiency, it spurs innovation, and well, like Spinal Tap, it's like turning everything up to 11. Which brings us to why we're all here. People are always asking me, hey Farley, you're a car person, what's better? Porsche GT3 RS, or an AMG Black, or an Aston Martin Vantage GT3? And I have to admit, a lot of those cars look great. They look perfectly in Lake Como. But they're going to be looking a lot prettier in the rearview mirror on the Mulsanne Straight. And we're going to have two of our development drivers who are going to be those people looking in the rearview mirror in a minute. The car you're about to show you is unlike any other Mustang. It is not like what we've done in the past, okay? It's not the best Mustang we ever produced. It's something totally different. We love Carroll Shelby. We love our Mustang heritage. But that's not what inspired us to do what we did now. This is really a Mustang reinvented. It's an underdog project to take on the European racing elite. A flagship, a supercar, a new era for Mustang born from the relentless innovation that happens at the very pinnacle of motorsports. This takes Mustang into a new category, into the rarefied air that we've never been. And when you look at the new Mustang range, we've been very intentional. We have Dark Horse, Tour Cross R, we have our Mustang Challenge Spec Series now, we have the GT3, the GT4, and professional racing series all around the world. No one has seen a racing-inspired portfolio that we now will do with Ford. We're going to put a pony in front of every starting grid, from Laguna Seca to Bathurst, and everything in between. And next year, Mustang will go back to Le Mans. And it goes there for one single reason. Yeah. To freaking kick their ass. But today, we're going to do something unconventional. We're actually going to reverse the script. And we're going to bring a race car to the street and homologate it as exactly what a race car is. At Ford, innovation always happens in small teams. And I'm so inspired by the people that are in this room that created this vehicle. This is a product from our best and brightest, working together in closed doors in a very small group. It is a true after-hours mission. It took a lot of late night, a lot of Red Bull, a lot of takeout food, and it shows what's possible at Ford when second place is not an option. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look.
When we take what we're really good at, like a Mustang, and we do the unthinkable and take on the Europeans, punch for punch, at what they've been doing for decades as an underdog.
Ford's really gonna make a road-going version of that GT3 race car.
It takes it to the best supercars in the world.
How far can we push what's under the skin of this car?
This is a track monster that'll make their jaws drop.
All of that technology focused to go like hell.
We were working with Ford Performance on a GT3 version of the new Generation 7 Mustang. We got 15% into that project. Jim Farley took a look at it. He goes, we need a road version of that.
The vision for this is totally different than any high-performance Mustangs we had. All the latest racing technology from our race car, but actually on the street.
We've never left anything on the track. We've applied it to the street vehicle to develop what we think is the ultimate Mustang.
And now I get to see a talented small challenger team bring it to life.
The studio kind of worked like a skunkworks office. We're off the grid.
We look for the best of the best, and if you look at the engineers at Ford and at Multimatic, they are elite, top-notch, best in the world.
We've engineered this vehicle 100% from the inside out.
It's really formed for this function. It's got the power. It's got lightweighting. It's got big brakes. It's got big aerodynamics. This car performs.
We did some radical things. It's got inboard suspension, like a lot of prototype race cars. You press a button, and in 10 seconds, you got a completely different characteristic on the car.
And we've practically replaced everything on the vehicle with carbon fiber to allow for lightweighting.
You know, it's got active aero, but we got some trick controls behind it.
We have titanium exhaust, the carbon ceramic brakes.
The vehicle also features magnesium wheels that are quite lightweight, but are very durable for track applications.
We put a transaxle in the back. A transaxle is what race cars have.
Because we moved the gearbox to the rear end, the weight balance of the car is a great 50-50.
Was that an easy thing to do in a car that was never designed out of train? It was a smoking hard problem to solve.
It's not a cosmetic package. Every component, every system was thought through, engineered.
You put all those building blocks together, you come out with a car that you know is going to be competitive in that space.
It's not just strong in one area, it's an all-around effort.
I mean, this product is a technological tour de force.
People will be just massively surprised and blown away by what Ford actually went and did there.
Mustang GTD is coming. This is a halo for the entire company.
There's something special about this car. It's not just taking it to the next level, it's taking it up several levels.
This was the Mustang that we always dreamed about building. There's a lot of brands that compete for a special, small group of people, but the Mustang is for everyone.
I always promised myself that I would push my team to do things that were unnatural in the name of producing something that's really special. That's why I care so deeply about this car, because it's been in my head for 5 decades. I want to see Porsche, I want to see Aston Martin, I want to see Mercedes sweat.
I can't wipe the smile off my face every time I see this car. It's a supercar wrapped in a beautiful carbon fiber Mustang body. It's a Trojan horse the European prestige brands will not see coming. What I'm most excited about to share with you tonight is the technology pedigree of this vehicle. That's what's important, the technology in the vehicle, not what it looks like. So let's leave it there, because I want to turn it over to a couple of gentlemen who know a thing or two about racing and winning. Harry Tincknell and Joey Ham. Harry and Joey were a big part of our win at Le Mans with the Ford GT. And now they are the leading development drivers for the Mustang GT race car. So they know exactly about this technology that we've homologated for the street. We're so honored and pleased that they could join us today and give you a peek into the opportunity for you to buy this car. Harry and Joey.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Harry and Joey, for being up here tonight. So, absolutely amazing, isn't it? I mean, the GTD has the unmistakable soul of a Mustang, but it's taken to a whole new level. It's a supercar. Everything you see here, when you look at the GTD, is intentional. It's done with purpose and function. Every surface, from the carbon fiber, active aero, active suspension, transaxle, got magnesium wheels, titanium exhaust, 800+ horsepower with a dry sump oiling system. No stone was left unturned. And what I really love is how Ford has pulled all this racing technology that you guys are so familiar with on a day-to-day basis and put it into this car. So, what do you think?
Well, I think probably like everybody else here, the thing that comes to mind for me is badass, right? Yeah. Badass, for sure. I mean, just so you guys know, what you're standing around there is all racing technology. All those things that you walked in and stood around, the rear suspension, the front, all the brakes, the carbon ceramic brakes, all those things are what's underneath here. It's racing technology and beyond, right? And so when we see that kind of stuff as racing drivers, we're thinking, yeah, badass. It's just gonna make it cool, fun to drive, awesome to drive. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. I think everybody's gonna be excited about it. We're ready to go.
Yeah, now it's what every car guy and gal ever has dreamt about, getting behind the wheel of something like this. And Harry, you've been behind the wheel of the GTD in the sim, so tell us a little about that.
Yeah, hey guys, super excited to be here. Yeah, Jerry and I are developing the race car that Jim said is going to
take over the world next year at GT3 racing and for many years to come at Le Mans and Daytona. We can't wait to get that kicked off. And like you say, I've been driving the car a little bit in the sim. And when you take a road car model and you put it in a simulator, when you're being used to driving the race car all day, it's an adaptation period. You know, it's a street car on a track. It's not its natural environment. And when we loaded it up and I took it out there, I mean, I was shocked, honestly, at how close it is to the race car. I mean, it has tech on this car that's, I mean, it's so cool that it's banned from racing. We can't even run it. It's got an incredible amount of downforce. 50-50 weight distribution means that cornering ability is incredible. It's stable on the brakes. 800+ horsepower, but it's delivered so smoothly to the tires. And for me, all these things make it easy to drive, which I think is super exciting for the enthusiast driver who's going to come there and use it on a track day. So I'm excited about it.
Right, because it doesn't matter if you're a racing driver or a weekend warrior or just somebody likes to go, nobody does it, go fast on the street. But if you're not comfortable behind the wheel of a car, you can't go fast. And so your day job depends on you being comfortable in a car. And if somebody gets one of these cars and wants to take it to a track day and they get behind the wheel and they feel like one with the car, they're going to be killing some lap times.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, within a couple of laps, I was hitting my time, hitting the consistency. I mean, some of the amazing features on the car, like the DRS system, the drag reduction system. On the simulator, I was asking the engineers, I was like, well, when that flap opens 40 degrees and I lose a load of drag off the back, is that not going to make the car super tricky to drive? But actually, we open actuators on the front as well, so we maintain that perfect aero balance, whether it's DRS open or closed. And for us as drivers, it gives us a lot of confidence to push hard and ultimately get the lap time.
It's the best of both worlds, right? Like in a race car, we have to tune the car for what we want. We want more downforce, we always have more downforce. We want less downforce, we have always less downforce. This is the best of both worlds.
Right, because now DRS was called in F1, they called it like giving Picasso Photoshop. So it's like a secret weapon, and to have this in a road car, and to have it where it maintains that balance when you go under braking, because I think a great racing driver once told me you don't get paid to go down the straights, you get paid to go through the corners. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I mean, race car guys, well, I mean, I get paid to drive through the corners. I don't know about Harry. Yeah, what we like is, every bit of the car. But I mean, when you talk about 800 horsepower, the things that stand out to me are the carbon ceramic brakes. I mean, we love to stand on the brakes. A lot of people don't even think about brakes, but that's some of the best race car drivers, the king of the late breakers, right? So I always want to have the best brakes on the car. What's better to have? Good brakes, good power, and good handling. Now we got it all.
Right, and part of that, you have the power and you have the brakes, but the balance of the car, again, is so important, and that's where the transaxle comes in, to have this 8-speed dual-clutch transaxle in the back. Now, who would have thought a racing-style transaxle in a Mustang? And we heard from our Canadian friend about what an issue that was to get under there, but, I mean, we have a transaxle in the back of this car that shifts like that, and it's 50-50 weight distribution, carbon fiber drive shaft. I mean, and again, the materials and the technology in the car are just incredible. Like Harry said, most of it is banned in GT3, so you're driving a better car home from the track than you drove to the track.
Well, I've already been talking about it. I mean, like, I can only imagine myself driving up to Laguna Seca, because I live close, getting in the race car, winning the race, I would hope, in my mind, and then driving away in this thing and driving back home. And maybe I drop Harry off at the airport so I go back to England.
Well, I need something.
I think trophy safe in the football or something.
Yeah, you can hold the trophy.
Well, let's talk about another thing that's straight from the racetrack to the street in this car, the variable traction control. Now, you didn't believe it at first, Joey, that this car had it, but let's tell the people a little bit about what they're going to have at their fingertips.
Yeah, I mean, so in the race car, we have adjustable traction control on the steering wheel that we can move around. Harry and I, we're always adjusting, trying to make it better for you. In a lot of situations, you'll have rain come in the middle of the race, and we will add traction control, we'll add assistance. This car will have it adjustable on the steering wheel. When you're on a track day, if it starts to get wet, it can get what we call more intrusive or help you more, right? And if it's drying out and it's really grippy, we can take that intrusiveness away and not have it up as much. So a lot of cool stuff that you can have help you right on the lap.
Right, so it's a nice thing for guys like me that get in a fast street car and just hold that traction control button down until everything's off.
I don't know if it's enough for you.
Might not be, maybe I need to leave it on at like 5 or something.
You got the track day mode, right? So you can, like I said, when you press that with same with the TC, car's going to drop 40 milliliters down. It's going to double the spring rate. So in the race car, you know, when we tested it recently, if we drop the ride at 2 millimeters, it makes a huge difference in the cornering ability. So 40 is like a different stratosphere.
But 40 and adaptive dampers, now you've had experience with those as well, so tell us about that.
We both have. So this car has the ASV damper on it. It's multimatic patented technology. It stands for adaptive spool valve. And we've both driven that on the Ford GT Mark IV, which I kind of say is another awesome car for Ford. And well, basically the ASV, it's adapting the damper settings as you're driving around. It's got a microchip in there, you can see it on the display in the back there, and it's taking in all different parameters, speed, steering angle, braking, road surface, and it's basically spitting out a number and giving the optimal damper settings for that particular part of the road. We both drove it at Sebring, one of the most notoriously bumpy and difficult tracks in the world, and when we were going through turn 1 with that setting off, the car's jumping up and down, it's difficult to drive, and ultimately we had to drive slower to navigate the corner. When we turn that setting on, it's like someone's gone out there, that pavement has not been touched for 60 years, and it's like someone has rolled it flat, and all of a sudden, this damper is allowing us to ride those bumps super smoothly. We can go faster, and ultimately it's easy to drive, and you can change in 10 milliseconds the settings, whatever you want. So that's fine on a $1.7 million ultra low limited edition track day car, and I'm so excited this car here is going to be the first street legal one to happen.
Yeah, and again, not to belabor the point, but this is true supercar race technology. Like Jim said, it's the reverse. Not taking a street car to the track, you're taking a race car to the street. It's just so cool. So thank you, Harry and Joey, for being here and sharing your technical expertise with the program and all you do behind the scenes. And more importantly, we do need you to go to the track next year and kick some ass, because there's a little room for adding another trophy case in Dearborn. We're expecting you guys to fill it. So
we like trophies, man.
We'll do that.
We like trophies.
See you in Daytona.